Hey, Pika,
Yeah?
do you know about Saddam Hussein?
No. Who's that?
He was the ruler of Iraq, he was. Yeah, he was a president of Iraq. He was there for a while, and well, want to learn about him?
Sure.
Before we start, I am probably gonna get a lot of these names wrong. I apologize if I get all these names wrong. Some of them are very hard to say. What?
Hmm?
What?
Nothing.
Some of these names are very hard to say.
I'm just messing with the settings a little. Alright, there you go.
All right. So, Saddam was born on the 28th of April, 1937, in a small village in Iraq. He was a descendant of. He basically was a normal, was a normal person who lived in Iraq, was an Iraqi person, and Iraq would face a lot of revolutions and were kind of basically Iraq was kind of a bit of a rough spot.
Yeah, it's a good way to describe it, I guess. Well, I wouldn't really know.
But Iraq is kind of a bit of a rough patch in between the worlds. So, Saddam, basically wondering what he should do in his life, basically, he was wondering what I do. Then he joined the Bathum Party.
The what?
The Ba'athist Party,
Oh,
which
I
was
know
a,
Batham.
I don't know, which was a socialist Iraq party. So he's kind of dipping his toes into the politics of the Iraq. And the thing was led by Abiala Karam Qasam Muhammad Baka Fadi Al Zubiya.
That is a long name.
We'll call him Qasim. Or I think that's how you pronounce it. So the
Whatever it's pronounced, it's probably better than all of that. I can't even recite it.
I'll just call him Qassam. I'll just call him Qassam. The party he was in basically then turned on him because he refused to join some person's like nation or something. It was some Egyptian guy nation. So then Saddam was like, "Hey yo, Iraqi Communist Party or Communist Party, I don't know." Was like, "Hey, I was
Party.
part of the thing with Qassam. Didn't end so well. So what do we do with him? We assassinate him."
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. So
Actually,
then the
wait,
group.
what time is this? In history?
Huh?
In history, what time is this?
Oh, like they started plotting on October 7th, 1959. So
Okay,
a couple years
1950s.
after World War II, a decade after World War II had ended. So basically, they planned to ambush Qassam. Basically, while he was driving in a car, they would shoot him.
JFK.
No.
It's gonna be another one of those episodes where where the character dies after like 3 seconds, like Shakespeare.
No.
Alright.
Saddam began to basically happen, him shooting him, and Qusam survived somehow. So after
Insert
this,
Giga Chad music here.
yeah, he got shot in the arm and he still lived. Whoa! Yeah, Qusam is a real one. He got shot in the arm and he damn lived.
Well, mattering on how this episode goes, he might not be as real of a real one.
The plotters then were like, we didn't actually kill him. And they're like, what do we do? Let's flee the country. So they left the country.
Yeah, that checks out.
For Syria.
I would do that. I wouldn't leave Syria. I'd go to the USA.
Then he was basically a member of. Then some members were arrested and given death sentences for trying to kill the leader. So that's
checks out.
So then Saddam moved to Egypt in 1960, and he lived there until 1963.
Okay, so 3 years.
The same year JFK was assassinated, but no ties to JFK in any way. So
I was drinking water and I almost spat it out when you said that.
So the army officers who were in the Ba'ath Party then overthrew Qasim. So you were right. Qasim didn't actually really live that good. And it was a coup. Which basically they were able to take over, kill, and I don't say kill him, but basically take over. Saddam then was like, I want to participate in more coups.
Tentacles.
Oh yeah, if you don't know what
make that joke.
Yeah, if you don't know what a coup is, it's
right,
basically a kidnapping / murder and stuff like that.
Oh,
so that's what a coup means. So when I say coup, they were planning to kill or kidnap or torture. So that's what coup means. Oh yeah, did I mention the guy who committed many crimes was able to be president of Iraq?
Honestly, considering how fucked up politics is today, that checks out.
Saddam then started kind of dipping his toes into politics.
Oh, yep.
And then the Ba'athists then took power because they kicked Qassam's ass back into hiding. And
your ass is going back to 1963.
Bitch, your ass is going back. And then yeah. And a ton of oil interests, because if you don't know, Saudi Arabia or Iraq has a really bad oil problem.
Like bad.
So at this point,
bad is in terms of like no oil, or bad is in terms of too much oil?
Like too much oil, that's bad for the environment.
Just sell it all to America.
So basically more people were talking about oil interests, and the prices would be raised high for oil prices. Saddam then started controlling some big campaigns that would give social services, and he even got an award. Nope, not a Nobel Peace Prize, but
that's exactly what I was about to ask.
Nope, not a Nobel Peace Prize. Some weird little obscure reward, but honestly, I don't know why he got it.
Wait, what's the award called?
Oh, it's called United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization.
He got an award from the United Nations. What do you mean insignificant?
I don't know. It's a agency of the United Nations. I don't know.
This is why I always have to ask about these things, because sometimes things that you consider to be like very minor are just like, what the actual?
I don't know how he was able to do this, but he did. And then the oil, basically, Saddam was basically kind of being like, Aha! The oil craze is so good for me because I get to be more political about it. Aha! Then the people will love me!
Let me guess, it didn't go like that at all.
No, it actually did.
Why am I wrong about everything today?
In 1976, Saddam rose to the general of the Iraqi armed forces and became a strongman of the government.
Strong? Ooh.
Strongman basically meant he was like the best military person in Iraq.
Well,
It's basically no strongman. Yeah, it's like a strong person. It's a political leader.
interesting.
So he was a very powerful political leader.
Okay.
And then in 19, the Ba'ath Party purge happened. He had an assembly with the Ba'ath Party, the same party that he had worked with earlier. And
I can't stop hearing Bath Party and just imagining a bunch of people in a talking about politics.
Even though these people were like murderers who killed people.
Yeah. Who cares about that? Let's go ahead and take a bath.
So a lot of names of the corresponders of the project, and it was sick, and a lot of people were arrested. A lot of people got executed. It was basically a purge of the Iraq Ba'ath Party.
No more baths.
Where basically the Ba'ath Party kind of got fucked over by this. So,
No more baths.
No more baths.
I was just gonna keep repeating that joke until you respond to it.
No more baths. No baths. No bitches.
Hey, we're a family-friendly. We're a fucking family.
Then the Ba'ath Party kind of just faded and was like, "Uh-oh."
Okay, Saddam was. Sorry, I know you didn't want me talking about the game, but did you see that? That thing just went flying.
Cool.
Anyway, so go on.
Saddam was kind of like being pretty a powerful figure. He would kind of use a little bit of he would try to inflict terror of his people.
Oh.
And he was apparently very cruel and very morbid. So
family friendly.
He's not a very good person. Saddam then uprooted a ton of stuff such as the dual nationalism with Iraq nationalism and Arab nationalism. And propaganda was basically made to by him.
America World War II reference.
Yep, propaganda. A ton of propaganda.
Actually, sorry to go off topic a little, but how come we've only made videos about people and not like general
events,
time periods and events and stuff?
We could do that.
Yeah, we probably should, because that's...
I was thinking about that earlier.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, because history isn't just about, like, individual people, like, sort of just a collective in French.
Can I continue?
Yes.
He had a ton of foreign affairs, not by, like, that type of affair, more like other affairs with different countries.
Yeah, I know what foreign affairs are.
And Saddam basically would like never leave Iraq. I don't know why. He just would never ever want to leave.
That is a horrible decision for a government.
Yep. Hi, I am the president of this nation.
Want to assassinate me? I will always be in the same place.
Go to the United States. You want to go? No! Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Anyway, are you ready for some wars?
Yes, my favorite topic.
Iran-Iraq war. Here we go. The Roar was a
Okay, sorry to
conflict
interrupt
between
you
Iran
again,
and
but
Iraq.
sorry to interrupt you again, but that's stupid because someone could just walk up to you and go, "Hey, I'm gonna assassinate you unless you get out of Iraq." And what are you gonna do then? Like die?
Stay in Iraq. Have
Exactly.
extra security.
And then die trying.
And die trying to, because your security guards are too busy smoking weed and drinking.
What? Talking about Canada now?
So basically, this was a conflict where Iran and Iraq were kind of like, we hate you. And then Saddam decided to invade Iran, attacking an airport, and then
Oh shit!
what?
Just an airport?
Yeah, he
That's like
attacked the airport. How dare he?
9/11 reference. I need to stop making jokes.
And he then kept invading, and some Iran soldiers were trying to stop him, but he couldn't. And then the Soviet Union, because Iraq and the Soviet Union besties, but not like super besties, to where in the time the Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev basically was like, Saddam basically was like, "Hey, Brezhnev, want to help me?" No. Okay.
You know what I find like really funny?
What?
Referring to history with modern day terms like girl boss.
And bestie.
Yeah.
That's why I say it.
It's just hilarious to me. I don't actually know why. It's not like it shouldn't be as funny as it is.
There was a ton of ground fighting between Iran and Iraq, and then he was like, "Oh, what do I do?" And then America over here was kind of like, I'm gonna help Iraq. Yeah, America likes Iraq. This will definitely aid. This is called foreshadowing.
How I love foreshadowing.
It's called foreshadowing. And Saddam kept getting a ton of weapons and chemical weapons, like explosions and stuff. So
Sorry, I was just drinking water.
it was insane. Everyone was fighting. Many people died.
People dying in a war? That's unheard of.
And eventually this led to one of the castles in Iraq being attacked with mustard gas. Mix of mustard gas and nerve agents.
Oh!
Which are basically chemicals, and killed about 10,000 people. 10,000 people. Fun.
Silly.
Finally, they stopped the war, and casualties ranging from 1 million people to who died during the and the two sides, Iran and Iraq, basically didn't really do anything, and both lost a lot of people. So neither of them won the war. So, oh shit. So then Saddam was the president of Iraq at this time. Just so you know.
Alright.
So Saddam was like, "Oh, we lost. We didn't do anything good." So then Saddam was trying to start a genocide campaign.
Oh!
A fucking genocide campaign.
That's
and
where
apparently,
this is going.
And he may have apparently killed with the Ba'athist administration about 100,000 people. And he did this because he just really, really
He just really It's not much of a good reason, is it?
He just really did not like Kurdish and wanted to attack just Kurdish people. And Kuwait. The end of the War of Iran basically then started starting the tension with Kuwait. Which you don't know what Kuwait is, it's basically
I think I've heard of it before. Isn't it Kuwait?
Kuwait, whatever. It's basically a place near. So a lot of near eras and basically near where he was. And he thought that they were historically a part of Iraq and it only come in because of the British government. Those damn Brits! They ruin everything!
I hate the government.
I hate government! Those damn Brits forced these imposters to come into our country!
What's happening?
So then he was like, I hate everything. And then in 19, Saddam was like, actually, I'm just gonna evade it. And then, well, he did. He invaded Kuwait on August 2nd, 1990. And, well, this was very big because he had giant military workers who killed many people. Oh yeah, a bit of a lighter note. He then before he invaded Iraq, he shipped 100 new Mercedes to Egypt.
Awesome.
All
is forgiven.
Yeah, all's forgiven. He shipped 100 Mercedes to Egypt right before he invaded a country. He invaded a place. This was so serious.
Please don't throw like a plot twist at me, like he was actually the owner of Mercedes.
Yeah? Give me a second, I'll be back.
My favorite time of the episode, trying to figure out ways to entertain while he's not here. So what's like the chemical compounds of cheese? Like if I tried hard enough and had all the right elements, could I create cheese from scratch? Cheese is just like hot liquid. It's like fermented milk. So you'd have to start by making milk. And then what? Like, okay, so how would you get to milk? You'd need... Well, I don't know. I don't know the chemical elements of milk.
I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Okay, can I continue?
Yeah. I was talking about I was just wondering... I was just talking about making milk from scratch. Please do not ask. I have to find some way to entertain while you're not here. It's sort of my job.
So, this got so big to where U.S. President George H.W. Bush was kind of like, I don't know what to do about this because this is serious.
Quick question, who's George W. Bush?
George H.W. Bush. President George Herbert Walker Bush is his full name. He was a president.
Thank you.
He was a president during the era of like 19... He came right after Ronald Reagan.
You didn't need to explain it anymore. I already got it after you said president. No, I didn't. I'm making a joke.
So...
Anyway.
Everything was kind of getting a little out of hand. And George was kind of like, oh, no, what do I... And I'll call him Bush. Bush was kind of like, I'm kind of a little nervous because this guy has big, beefy military people, and they could attack all they want, and I don't want half of Iraq to be dominated by this stupid dude with a mustache. What do we do?
Wait, what stupid dude with a mustache?
What do we do? What do we do, British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher? I don't know. So, the only other people who could fight back were the Soviet Union, and they did not have a very good relationship beforehand. Like, threats of nuclear war with Soviet Union.
What?
So,
What's that? What?
you okay?
Sorry, I just.
So that wasn't good. So then they basically, Saddam's officers just looted and took everything, like everything good from Kuwait, and just put it in Saddam's big ass palace.
Margaret Thatcher.
So Bush then announced that this is more big. This is a big idea. And the army was unable to fight the beefy Americans, and the Americans somehow won. And that is the story. And look, there's a lot more to the story than just that. But this is mainly just about Saddam Hussein, and I don't want to cover everything about the Persian Gulf War, which is what it's usually called. So if you want to look it up, and you want to do some research on it. After losing the war, Iraq was kind of a little bit like, oh Jesus, this is bad. And a lot of Iraq people died because of the war. Apparently 180 people probably died. So then the US was like, hey guys, Saddam is not a good person. Rise against him. Revolt against him. Why are you muted? Pika?
I'm still laughing over Margaret Thatcher. I just, when you said Margaret Thatcher, I imagine an old woman with a bun for her head. And I don't know why it's funny.
Were you listening?
What?
Were you listening?
Yeah, I'm just laughing the whole time. Don't worry, they can't hear it from most of it. Margaret Thatcher.
And Saddam was kind of like a little panicking because, his own people might be turning on him. So where the U.S. then started to go against Saddam. And Saddam was kind of like, oh shit, what do I do? You get that?
Yeah. What I do?
And this all completed in 2003. Where the USA...
Wait. From 1950 to 2003?
No, the war happened in like 1990. The rest of the year were just kind of boring stuff, like Saddam talking about TV and stuff.
Wait, so he existed for like a 50 years?
Yeah, he did it for a decade after the war. But I don't want to cover literally everything about him because half of it's not really that interesting. It's just the same information. U.S. doesn't like Saddam. Saddam says something. The U.S. doesn't like Saddam, so I don't have to go. I don't have to go over literally every detail that happened.
Yes, you do. You are being played too. I'm kidding.
So then the U.S. then invaded Iraq in 2003. And this was bad because the U.S. then were able to find Saddam. Because in April, as soon as they invaded, Saddam disappeared. And then he appeared again. Then the U.S. found him and, well, captured him.
Oh. How fun.
And he was captured. And, well, let's just say, again, because of all the wars he caused and all the deaths he caused, the people were not happy, so they had a trial. And in 2004, the trial commenced.
And everyone unanimously agreed off with his head.
And about 11 people...
Was I close?
the Ba'athist leaders were basically being tried in court. So Saddam was speaking about the wars, the Ba'athist people. So everything was kind of looking grim for Saddam because if he got a guilty verdict, he would face the death sentence.
What's a death sentence?
So basically, Saddam had to have one choice. He would either make it out, which is something that probably could not happen because of how much he did. So, for what he did, it came to bite him in the ass at the last moment. All the wars, all the deaths, all the blood on his hands came and bit him in the ass at the last possible moment. And Saddam was held guilty and was executed in the 30th of December 2006.
Hey, that was after my brother was born.
Really?
Yeah.
That direct day?
No, not the day, but like pretty close.
Well, this is just kind of goes to show again. So, yeah. What? Okay, hold on. My brother needs something.
So back to what I was saying earlier. Like, I don't know the elements that would needed to be make milk, but in theory, you could make it naturally. Do not try and produce milk naturally. Well, in theory, you could. But if I wanted to make it from scratch, I would need to know the elemental properties of milk, which I don't. We're going in circles here. So in conclusion, if you were to try and make milk, you would need to be smarter than me. And I'm not very smart, so that isn't much of at least I don't know much about, like, elements and stuff.
My damn brother needed his toilet paper. Yeah, so I feel like this goes to show that if you be like this and cause a lot of wars, it comes back to bite you in the ass when you least expect it.
Okay, so when you said blood on his hands and bit his ass, I'm sorry to sort of say something silly at, like, the last moment, but I instantaneously thought of bloody hands having a mouth and biting him literally in the ass.
But you get what I was saying.
Yeah.
Metaphors that the blood on his hands from all the deaths. And, well, after this, well, Saddam was dead. And all tension was lifted.
And they all lived happily ever after.
Well, I really didn't, but...
Except we live on Earth, so that's wrong.
Except for Saddam.
Except we live on Earth, so there's no happily ever after.
Alright, for those of you who watched this to the full, I thank you.
And for those of you watching this on the new channel...
Yeah, new channel. It's called the Pod... What?
You have to set that up after this. Yeah, thank you for checking...
out in the new channel. So yeah, and see you guys at the next episode. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I'm Pika, and I'm Char, and this is I'm Char.
I got the names a little wrong.
I'm Char,
and I'm Pika,
and you have watched the New History podcast.
And you're watching Disney Channel. I couldn't stop myself. I'm sorry.
No, and you're watching the Disney Channel. Thank you all for watching. See you next Wednesday. Bye!